Cool. This is the trial I did last part, except now I'm doing it on the Korean version. Or the original version. I'm at this sort of problem point in Let's Plays right now where I might want to pause the encoding when we get into this, because I'm going to go through the truth bullets and write down the Korean name of the truth bullet and the English one next to each other, because that will help me. We'll only have 1, 2, 3, 4 non-stops. Oh, but there's rebuttal showdowns. I have this problem with Let's Plays right now where it's so much more fun to play like the main story of a game. I'm noticing I'm having a microphone problem. Yep. My mic game is going through the roof. Okay. I don't know why that happens. It's much more fun to play through like the story of a game than to play through all the stuff you do afterwards, just to 100% it and see all the content. So, for example, I've already finished playing all of Remember 11, right? But I want to do like one more part where I discuss, you know, some of the plot inferences, essentially, like stuff that's not fully explained. And then I've already gotten through all the story of Danganronpa Blowback that was ever made, but I still haven't done all the free time events in Danganronpa Blowback. And I've gotten through the whole story of Stray, but haven't gone through and collected all of the memories and various things like that. And this game, well, I haven't gotten through all the story of it, but I was at this point where the next iteration would have to be me playing a trial I already played again, which is always, this is like, you know, not really that fun because I already know what happens in the trial. And so I ended up starting just playing a new game altogether. I started playing Memories Off just because, you know, I just wanted to do that as opposed to doing this. But you gotta do what you gotta do, so you gotta actually get back to this one, which actually has some hope of continuing. And I probably haven't uploaded anything for Memories Off yet. It may not for a few days, I don't know. But once I get through this, I can continue into a story. So it doesn't stop here. Anyway, I'm gonna do an encoding pause while I mess with the truth, while I do this truth bullet nonsense. And I'm back. I forgot what the middle is. Oh. I'm going off a save. Pointless. First of all, let's start with a brief explanation of the class trial. The outcome of the trial is determined by your vote. Wait, why is it? No. If you pick the correct person, as only the blackened will be punished. But if you pick the wrong person as the blackened, everyone except the blackened will be punished, and only the blackened, who deceived everyone, graduates with honor. For the fourth class trial has finally begun. One of us killed Kobashikawa. We have to find the culprit. Duh. Okay then, please start the discussion. Hey guys. That's right, let's start the discussion. That's right, we have a lot of hard work to do, so where should we start? What is this frustratingly awkward air? Well, I guess it's nothing, because the conflict has reached its peak. Or it's everything, because the conflict doesn't matter, because the conflict has reached its peak? I don't know. The conflict has reached its peak, though. First of all, I think each of you will have a lot of things you want to say before the trial, and your feelings will also be different. But for now, let's focus on the trial in front of us, putting everything else aside. Has it not been like this so far? Kinjo-kun? as Kinjo said, the trial is now. Let's swallow what we want to say to each other for a moment, because survival comes first. Haha, that's not natural. Let's get started. Oh, is that not natural? Let's get started. Now, let's organize a series of events in chronological order based on what we know. What the witnesses know. Wait a minute, I have something to say. What is it, Iranami? I'm the culprit. Eh? Satsuki-chan? What are you saying now? I am the culprit. I am the one who killed Kobashikawa. Don't make fun of me. Or don't play jokes, Iranami. What are you talking about out of nowhere? It's not a joke. Are you serious? Don't be funny. I know that if you claim that you are the culprit without any physical evidence or logic, would we believe you're the culprit? Would you be the if you claimed you were the culprit without any physical evidence or logic? Are you the culprit? Or something. Something about you need evidence. But really, I killed Kobashikawa. That can't be possible. Stop making bad jokes, Satsuki-chan. First of all, let's go through this step by step. If I listen and understand, I can truly believe that you are the culprit. What's going on? As soon as the trial starts, she says she's the culprit. A normal culprit would never confess. But before that, is it true that Iranami is the real culprit? Whatever the hell is going on, listen to Iranami's story first. No, I don't want an explanation of nonstop. Well, there might be an absorb. So the letter in the Haru's room, on the first yellow that comes up, and what my notes are. So okay. So it's this one? Oh, I missed it. Phooey, I'm gonna lose a blue star already, because searching for the tooth bullet. I forgot what she says here. I think it says, like, she killed him in self-defense or something. Or, I don't know. She makes something up. If Iranami is really the culprit, then that means that okay. Oh, I have to re-roll? Okay. Isn't it strange that, Kobashikawa called Iranami? Strange. That's not to say that the victim Kobashikawa called you the criminal, rather the victim. Okay. So, you say that the victim Kobashikawa called you. By called, I mean like sent a message. Summoned, which might be a better word. Summoned you, the criminal. Rather, the victim, Kobashikawa, was summoned by the criminal and then went to the armory. If you were the culprit, there's no way that you wouldn't know. Well, I thought that I was called to the... by, I guess Kobashikawa, but she uses some weird name for him here. The Google Translate makes it hard. Not Google Translate, the text factor deletes the spaces between the words. They put some spaces back in. Called by the criminal, and then she says, but I am not sure. Okay. Or something like, I'm not sure about that. This is ridiculous. I'm talking about the letter that was left in Kobashikawa's room. The contents were as follows. I have something to say to Kobashikawa. If you've read this, won't you come to the weapons depot? I'm definitely not trying to kill you. I hope you trust me and come. I'll wait. I will be waiting. Wow. If the contents of the letter are true, it makes no sense that Kobashikawa-kun summoned Satsuki-chan and then took her to the armory. Rather, it's the opposite. But Iranami just said that she didn't know much, she did not know about the letter. It doesn't make sense for the culprit to say that they didn't know the letter they sent. I don't know. That's a fabrication. Maeda is manipulating things by writing a letter that I don't know about. Don't waste your life. This is definitely evidence obtained from Kobashikawa's room. Kurukawa doubts. Well, it was actually there, and someone did actually put it, so it wasn't like it was fake or something. She's just like, huh. So then, Iranami is not the culprit? No! Anieo! Anieya! I am saying I am the culprit! Looking at the current evidence, it's hard to say that Iranami is the culprit, but I want to be a little more certain. Then let's ask about this. We'll find out the evidence. Find out evidence that the criminal wouldn't know. Or let's think of some evidence the criminal wouldn't know. About another wound of Kobashikawa whose source is unknown. Okay, I guess this is what I pick. If Iranami, if you are really the culprit, there's one thing I want you to know. It's not a letter or anything, but a direct clue to Kobashikawa's body. If you are the culprit, it is a clue that you cannot fail to know. I guess it's more like, this is not a letter or anything, this is a clue directly from Kobashikawa's body. What is it? Kobashikawa's right hand. His right hand was completely shattered. It's hard to explain that if it was just a gunshot wound. If you are the culprit, can you tell me the identity of this wound? Or like why this wound happened? I don't know why his hand turned out like that. There's no need to talk anymore. You're not the culprit. Wait a minute, it's true. Why are you still claiming that you are the culprit? Even if the real Iranami is the culprit, she will only be executed. If she is the culprit, she should hide the fact that she is the culprit. I don't know what you're thinking, but this isn't a joke. If Iranami unnecessarily confuses the reasoning and we choose the wrong culprit, we will all die. Maybe that was the purpose. What? Yes. For once, Mikaru is just wrong. She was close to Haruhiko Kobashikawa, who died this time. For the looks of it, She seems to have been in a much more severe shock this time than previous times. Because of that shock, she's trying to make us all follow Haruhiko Kobashikawa. Isn't it like this? Is that it? Is that it? No, absolutely not. Of course. It's really sad that Kobashikawa died, but I am completely sane. Stop it, Iwanami. We haven't even started the proper discussion yet. As the discussion progresses, the culprit will be revealed naturally. If you are really the culprit, there is no need to rush, and it will be revealed. When Kobashikawa makes more sense than Rei. Mixing first and last names. No, wait. No. When Kurukawa makes more sense than Rei, not Kobashikawa, he's a dead guy. Mikako makes more sense than Rei. Like, Mikako doesn't say wrong things, that's the thing. Like, she, knows exactly what she's doing all the time. Satsuki-chan. I understand. Let's discuss first. I guess it was roughly organized. I wasted my time on some unnecessary things. Then let's start from the beginning again. Let's organize the case. Wait. Is this okay? If this happens, can we now say that Iranami is completely not the culprit? No, that's not necessarily true. There's a possibility that Iranami is really the culprit. There is. Since we haven't started making any inferences yet, looking at what happened a little while ago, there is little chance. It could be a calculated thing to exclude herself from being a suspect in this way. I think it would be a bit impossible for Iranami to even calculate that. That would be that would be an interesting move where the culprit claims they're the culprit, but then pretends to not know things the culprit should know, and then they're not am I acting like a fool now? No, that would actually be smart. I don't think it's subtle. Quiet. First, let us summarize the development of the incident, as Kijo said. Yes. Should I start from the evening before the incident occurred? Absolutely. Maeda-kun, Kobashikawa-kun, Notori-kun, me, Satsuki-chan, Mikako-chan. The 6 of us were gathered at the restaurant when Maeda-kun called us. At that time, our hunger was at its limit, and we all gathered together to put our heads together with the idea of taking a hardline policy somehow. At that time, Otori suddenly... I'm telling you, I was really out of my mind at the time, so, it was my fault. What is it? I didn't even see your faces the day before the murder happened. I don't know, so explain exactly what's going on. Otori gave me paper and a pen and asked me, it should be us, gave us paper and a pen and asked us to write one name of a criminal and one name of a victim. Since Monokuma had ruled out suicide, the plan was to fix the situation by sacrificing 2 people. I mean, that was really crazy. Anyway, I'm sorry. Okay, that's in the past. I almost agreed to that plan too. From there, it's like the part I saw. I stormed into the restaurant because their absurd plan was about to be implemented. Yes, Kinjo came in and handed each of us a gun. And said, let us commit suicide. What? That's nothing, continue. Well, then we rebelled, and we got into a big fight with Kinjo. Then, fortunately, I was able to catch Kinjo, and since he was judged to be dangerous, we bound him so that he could not move. I'm sorry. I was uneducated. Let's keep going. The problem is that from now on, thanks to Kinjo, the plan to select a victim was stopped. But there was no progress in the situation, and after locking Kinjo in his room, everyone went back to their own rooms. Kobashikawa died in the early morning. I couldn't sleep all night and stayed up with my eyes open, but in the morning I heard a noise outside, so I went out and saw Maeda saying the weapons door wouldn't open, and asked me to come. That's correct, he actually did not sleep all night, that's true. And somehow, you opened the door and found the body? That's right, the incident happened in the early morning without anyone seeing, so there isn't a lot of evidence. So I have no choice but to share the information I know. First of all, just by asking about what we have just shared, several alibis have been established. Alibis? Yes. Let's dig into each person's alibi one by one. Okay, we agree with Kinjo on the 10th entry with Kurukawa's account. Which is the first bullet, which makes it easy. Okay. Did I ink my shirt? I sure hope not, but I think I did. I'm the culprit! Just randomly interjected in there. Kinjo, now that I think about it, I think there is someone who knows everyone's alibis in detail, or at least some people's. Who? Kurokawa. She clearly testified during the investigation that she saw who went into the armory in the early morning. Right, Kurokawa? Yes. Well, if that's true, has the culprit already been revealed? You're noisy. Be quiet. Dark circles. What did you see? Kurukawa's room was just to the left of the weapons room, so she heard the sound of the weapons door opening and closing. The weapons room door opening and closing. Of course, the weapons room was designed to be soundproof, so she couldn't hear any of the sounds coming from inside. I think saying that she heard a sound that was made would not be enough to be direct eyewitness testimony. No. I saw the people passing by my door. What are you saying? You were watching the hallway all morning? Is that what you're saying now? Kutuk. Which is this is a nod. Even so, It would have been difficult to stay sane due to hunger, but to watch the hallways all night without sleeping? But that worked in a good way. In the, I guess, panopticon theory, you would never have thought that there would be someone in that division watching the hallways. I don't know. Great results, Kurukawa. There's something in there that got messed up. I don't want to spend the time dissecting it, so whatever. I get the gist. So who passed by? I cannot tell the time. I do not know the exact time, but to put it in order. First, Kobashikawa and Iranami, from left to right. The armory was not open this time. The armory door did not open, basically. A little time later, Iranami went alone, from right to left. Immediately after, Otori went from left to right. A little later, the sound of the weapons depot opening was heard. And Otori, I guess it again is Otori, so Otori again was moving from right to left. Then, after a while, Kobashikawa moved from right to left. Not long after, Kobashikawa and Iranami went together again. Now, just a moment. I'm sorry, but wait a moment. I don't even know what you're saying. From left to right, I don't even know what is right and what is left. Can you explain a little bit in a way that's easier to understand? You're not... You may be the only one who can't. Don't stop the flow and listen intently. Come on, don't be too harsh, because I'm a little confused too. Now let's listen to Kurokawa's story again, and I'll summarize it again in an easy-to-understand manner. Kurokawa, please continue. Nod. Indeed. If that's what she says, then it can be said that the culprit is already out. I didn't know because Kurokawa didn't tell me properly during research, but this is definitely great information. I'd like to just join the discussion here and there, but can you explain it to me in a simpler way? Tyra, so I'll explain it easy to understand way. But before that, there's something I want to check again. I think we can properly organize Kurokawa's information if we know that for sure the location of the sleeping quarters each of us was using. Well, we definitely need to point that out. From what I roughly checked this with each person during the investigation, everyone probably remembers the structure of the hallway at the back of the ballroom where the sleeping rooms were arranged. If you look closely, you'll know that there is a small sign on the door of each sleeping room indicating a number, the number. And according to the sign, the sleeping quarters are distributed like this. Monokuma randomly gave us keys to random rooms. And from what I researched, the rooms where each person stays are probably distributed like this. If we organize this distribution of rooms used by each person, and think about Kurokawa's testimony again, we can immediately see that the suspects have been narrowed down. Now that means I didn't understand a single thing Mikako-chan says. That's your fault. I'm not going to waste precious discussion time just because of you. Kenjo! Don't be too much. It's important for everyone to know about the incident. I'll organize it and explain it to Tyra. Oh, do whatever you want, but do it quickly. Kinjo-kan, it seems you still have no intention of forgiving me. Tyra, so to briefly summarize what Kurokawa said, first of all, Tyra knows that Kurokawa had been watching the hallway all morning. And if you think about it based on Kinjo's summary, Kurokawa's room was the room number 8, right? This is the room immediately to the left of the armory when you stand facing the hallway from the armory entrance. When Kurokawa explained a little while ago, she said from left to right and from right to left. It was also based on the direction facing the hallway from Kurokawa's sleeping room. Here, I will express it in an easy-to-understand way. According to the order in which Kurokawa saw, Kobashikawa and Iranami passed in front of Kurokawa's room first together. She said that she did not hear the sound of the weapons door opening at this time. So I think it was just the two of them passing by. That would be from left to right from her perspective, right? It's right to left for us, it's left to right for her. And a little while later, Iranami passed by alone again in the opposite direction. She says that Otori passed by right after that. At this time, she heard the sound of the weapons door opening. It's probably because Otori went into the armory. After a while, the sound of the weapons door opening was heard again, and Otori passed in the opposite direction. Not long after, Kobashikawa passed in the same direction. After that, Kobashikawa and Iranami came together from left to right, which for us is from right to left. Okay. At this time, the weapons door was opened and someone entered the weapons room. After that, there was no movement for a while, and after a while, Iranami passed by with the sound of the weapons room door opening. This is all of the movement Kurokawa saw and heard during the early morning. After that, she said she heard the weapons door rattling around morning, and that was probably the sound of me trying to open the weapons door. The chibi beats against the door. Otori, who passed by after that, heard the sound I made and came running. In fact, I received Otori's help and opened the door. We opened the door together. If I were to summarize what Kurokawa saw and heard, it would be roughly like this. I wonder if it makes sense. Wow, I understand it right away, thanks to Amedeka's explanation. Thank you. But if you look at this just for a moment, yes, one suspicious person stands out. I can't guarantee that what Kurokawa saw and heard is everything that happened in the early morning, but considering the information obtained so far, there is one strong suspect. And according to my notes, it's Otori. Which is weird to me because this seems to make him not seem like a strong suspect. Otori, I heard your name. Well, no. Since Kobashikawa was the victim, there was nothing he could do, and it is understandable considering that Iranami was also close to Kobashikawa. Why was Otori walking around at dawn? What are you talking about? Everyone was in a state of panic and tried to find some clue to get out. Doesn't that sound a little strange? The guy who was desperate until just a few hours ago to pick 2 victims did the research with everyone in mind. He's doing research with everyone in mind? That's right, I changed my mind. A person's heart can change easily. What is it? That's debatable. Even if it's true that you conducted an investigation, based on Kurokawa's testimony, you only went into the armory. What kind of investigation did you do in the armory? No, I had never gone to the weapon. Oh, Tori, cunt. Don't be pretentious. And explain it properly. Pretentious is probably not the right word, but I'll keep going. I get what she was trying to say. What on earth were you doing in the armory? I never went into the armory. Oh, Tori. Why is it just me? There's nothing wrong with me. If you think about it, Iranami was also walking around in the early morning. Why are you so upset with me? That's right. I am the criminal. You're still saying that. I told you to be quiet. Iranami is definitely on the same level as you. Iranami said that she does not know the identity of the letter, and she does not know about Kobashikawa's right hand. If you say you don't know that, you won't know anything about the right... I don't know anything about the right hand or the letter either, or something like that. Don't get me wrong, Otori. You're saying you're not the culprit and you don't know the clues. Well, Iranami's saying that she doesn't know the clues, but then she claims she's the culprit. It's completely different. Oh, so that's when I said it was the same level. It was supposed to be not the same level? Okay, then. Then, when I saw Maeda in the morning, he was trying to enter the armory. He's also suspicious. Well, that just happened. So, as you said, I won't deny that Maeda is suspicious. Just the day before, he was caught by me while going in and out of the armory, and he may have headed into the armory this morning with strange thoughts. But that and this are separate issues. As a result, Maeda failed to enter the armory this morning. There was no witness testimony from Kurokawa in the early morning, and he was not fit to commit the crime. Well, he came from the other direction, so that's why Kurokawa wouldn't have seen him. Anyway, I don't know. I'm not specifically trying to defend that guy, but there's a gap in the dry money that relies solely on Dark Circle's testimony. It's probably not dry money. This is probably the story, but I get what she means. If it continues like this, I think you guys will just ignore it and move on, so I gotta point it out. You know about the structure of the ballroom? The structure? Let's think. We're gonna talk about the long way around. Even if Kurokawa had been watching the hallway all night, all she would have saw from outside her room would be, all she saw was from outside her room, and she heard the armory opening and closing. However, if you look at the structure of the bar, you can easily enter the armory without passing by Kurokawa's door. Oh. It showed the red arrow. I think we all know because we've all been cooped up in this ballroom for over a week. You can take the long way around. The armory is surrounds the dance hall 300 basically there's a hallway that goes around the dance hall all 360 degrees. In other words, if you go back the other way, you can enter the armory without being noticed by Kurokawa. Moreover, in the case of Maeda, he did not necessarily use this method and went straight from his course to the armory. So he would have not been seen by Kurokawa. And it is possible, as he was opposite the direction from Kurokawa's quarters in the first place. Did you know? Maeda is the culprit. But there's something that should not be overlooked. Even if we use some method to enter the armory without being seen by Kurokawa, Kirukawa is bound to hear the sound of the armory door opening and closing. But in Mikako-chan's testimony, the sound of the armory opening and closing was always heard only before and after someone passed by the door. That's right. In the end, I can't think of anyone who went in and out of the armory in the early morning other than the three, Kobashikawa, Iranami, and Otori, who appeared in the testimony. That's a lie! So, I really need to hear what Otori did when he went into the armory. If he's innocent, there's no reason to get so embarrassed and turn away, right? Get embarrassed and defensive. Well, then I'm innocent, and I didn't really do anything in the armory. I just went in for a moment. If things continue like this, it seems like there will be no end. I don't know why Otori doesn't want to say something, but if Otori shows more convincing evidence than he has... But if I show Otori more convincing evidence, then he has no choice but to say something on his own terms. Or something like that. He'll have no choice but to respond to them. Now I think about it, I think there was something suspicious about Otori during the investigation. What was it? It was when I was investigating something in the armory. Let me recall the image. Spot selection. Now, I don't want an explanation of spot selection. Gun, lower right corner is what my notes say. Man, this is like really sensitive. Okay. Hopefully that's close enough. The hitbox was large enough. Now that I think about it, you did say something strange to me when I was researching, Otori. What strange sound? I don't know. I found a gun lying in the corner and picked it up to examine it. You told me not to touch the gun because it would suddenly explode. What do you mean? Tell me in detail. Anyway, when there was a gun lying in the corner where you couldn't see it, so I tried to investigate why I was in such a corner. Suddenly, Otori, who was nearby, came running and told me not to touch it because it would explode if I shot it. He probably thought I was trying to shoot him. What do you mean it would explode if you shot it? No, before I say anything here, how did he know that? Maeda, did you do a thorough investigation? I did a quick search, but it was an ordinary gun, nothing special. I heard it would explode, so I thought there was a bomb installed, but, probably not. Hey, Monokuma. Why are you calling me? I was enjoying the action or whatever. It was interesting. Something about I'm asking for the evidence. Just bring the gun that was mentioned. What is this? Why are you giving me orders? Submit evidence? Is that possible? It is strictly part of a class trial discussion. According to the rules, there is no problem. You, the judge, will not have the right to refuse. Well, that's right. There's no point in refusing. It's part of the discussion, then whatever. I don't like your attitude. How could you be so arrogant? Just shut up and get it quickly. Man, it's already been 45 minutes. I actually knew this would happen and brought it from the beginning. Now here. Ade? Or like how? This is it. This bullet. It was loaded with bullets? It is not a simple bullet. It is forcibly loaded with bullets that do not meet the specifications of bullet used in shotguns or medium-sized rifles. If you pull the trigger like this, a bullet that does not fit the capacity will enter the chamber and block the muzzle. And of course, the bullet will not come out. With no place to escape, the pressure of the gunpowder spreads everywhere. The gun will be shattered. Now, wait a minute. How did Okori-kun know that? Why? Now I know what you did in the armory. Ah! Otori-kun loaded or changed the bullets like that on purpose? For what reason? You hold a gun in that state with your hand and fire. Your hand will not be safe. Listening to that, I think I remember seeing a very similar wound. Yes, Kobashikawa's right hand. The origin of which was unclear. Now I understand. Kobashikawa was in a situation very similar to that pistol that Kijo is holding right now. The evidence was also in the armory. And this one was shattered gun, right, according to my notes. That's right. It was in the armory. There were fragments of gun, covered in blood, and looked as if they had exploded from the inside. I saw it too. Kawashikawa fired an incorrectly loaded gun just like this one, and the gun he was holding exploded, rupturing his hand. Then Otori-kun and Kobashikawa-kun. Now wait a moment, this is definitely the gun I touched. But I don't know of another gun that was destroyed. Oh, you admit to touching this gun. This is... It is certainly strange that there are two guns with incorrectly loaded bullets. What is certain is that Otori definitely did something. If you ask me this something or other, I feel like there's a lot of things to confess. Don't treat someone like a criminal. There's no solid evidence. Even if I touch that gun, there can't be solid evidence that makes me the criminal. I don't know. Give me the evidence. It cannot be denied that the most likely suspect right now is Otori. Is there any more solid evidence? If we continue discussing, we might see something. No. So, my notes here, it says absorb Akane, and use that on Teruya's thing. That's very vague. I don't know which Akane's thing I absorb, but... I think it goes around. So that's what I shoot, I suppose? Okay, absorb. Whoa, it absorbed instantly. What the hey? Do I have like a power-up that does that? Well... Okay, I did not lose my... Oh. It is certain that Otori went into the armory at dawn and secretly used the gun. Was that really all there was to secretly moving it out at dawn and just that one thing? Let's think about it carefully. If we listen carefully to what everyone says, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I guess that, like, maybe that's what Ray's skill was that I got from doing all Ray's free time events, was like instant absorption. Okay, here it is, I think. The paper and the pin. What? Oh, so you didn't do just one thing, you did you left a note. After hearing Tyro's words, this came to mind. Do you remember the letter you mentioned when you were interrogating Uranami at the beginning of the trial? The letter we mentioned. I always thought it was strange. How did the criminal write this letter? We were locked in the ballroom and had all of our belongings taken away. After listening to it, I realize now. Maeda, you pointed it out exactly. Perhaps the night before the murder, there was someone who handed out papers that had been secretly hidden and suggested choosing two victims. Eek! Or hick. Otori clearly said that he always has extra paper and pen on him, which means that Otori is the only one among us who had paper and pen. That doesn't make sense. Someone else could, but he was. Because no one else does that. But the statement doesn't make sense logically. Anyway. Sing Sang Rong Chung Chi, which is not Sing Sing Sara magazine, but I don't really care what it actually is. I may have found a different paper by chance and used it. But you didn't though. Okay then. Where should we check? Bring me that letter, Monokuma. I knew that would happen, so I brought it here in advance. I didn't see that guy making the commotion, so you guys can read it. It's definitely the paper that Otori had. Then it was Otori-kun who sent the letter to Kobashikawa-kun's room. Wait just a moment. Since you said what you say is unreasonable, I handed out several pieces of paper to you, and Kijo caused a commotion right after that. They may have taken advantage of the confusion to take one of them. If it were paper, it might be possible. But what about the pen? But as for the pen, Otori wrote it himself. There is only one pen. No matter how much paper you have, you can't write a letter without a pen. Pen. Also took the pen taking advantage of the confusion. Oh, so that means you don't have the pen right now. You said you only had one pen. There will be no complaints if I examine your body and the party clothes that you wore. That's not possible. Why not? I guess there's something we shouldn't see? Are you actually a girl? The decision has been made, and I can't refute it anymore. You loaded the bullet incorrectly, causing his hand to fly apart, and even wrote a letter calling out Kobashikawa. It was all done by Otori Teruya. And last sentence didn't get translated, but it's like, I rest my case or something. It was a really Otori-kun? Why? Why did you do that? Why did you kill Kobashikawa-kun? Me. I'm sorry, it's all my fault. You could not stand the hunger either? Then what else could there be to do but kill someone? In fact, there was also a reason for targeting Kobashikawa, as there was a buildup of bad feelings and fights. If you think about it, it also came from hunger. Otori-kun? So you're asking for some sympathy. Anyway, you planned the murder and carried it out. I have nothing to say. I don't want to make excuses anymore and disgrace Kobashikawa. I don't want to die cleanly executed. Wait, I have one question. You went to the armory before the victim, did some work, and even wrote a letter to call him out, but why didn't you go to the armory after that? My original plan was to call Kobashikawa and make sure he went into the armory before I followed him in. I was planning to provoke Kobashikawa and make him fire the gun I had prepared, as if the criminal had nothing to do with it. If that happens, he will die without knowing anything. I decided to commit a crime using the knowledge I gained while studying gunsmithing in the United States with my father. So I went back to the room and kept an eye on Kobashikawa to see if he came out. But I was too tired, so I fell asleep until morning. I don't know why Kobashikawa broke his hand, but in the end it went my way, so the fact that I killed Kobashikawa doesn't change. This is a hard answer to even expect. I'm glad you're an idiot. In that retrospect, I think Kurokawa, who watched the hallway all morning, was amazing. Thanks to this, my crime was discovered, but... Otori? To say something like that means that... Otori is the culprit? Question. But it seems like there are so many unanswered questions. Wait a minute, I was listening quietly the whole time, but something is wrong. Otori is not the culprit. Satsuki-chan, what are you talking about? Otori-kun himself admitted it. I am the culprit. I still told you to shut up! Wait. Is Otori really the culprit? Mikako-chan. If I think rightly, Otori is not the culprit. There is still a mystery left to be solved. What are you talking about? What you were talking about earlier? I'm not that criminal. There's a 90% chance that Otori is the culprit. But it's too late to end the trial like this. I don't agree that there... I do agree that there remain unsolved mysteries. If we try to vote like this without talking to anyone, I try to talk to you, but... Actually, the most important part of this case starts from here. Wow, what is everyone suddenly saying? The trial wasn't supposed to end like this? Correct, we haven't even got to the intermission yet. If you think about it carefully, it is true. There are still many aspects of this incident that cannot be explained just by contents of the discussion so far. But I want to hear why Otori, from Kurokawa, why Otori is not the culprit. Kinjo. I have to break this apart here. Sorry. Gotta use Google Translate. Because what Textractor, of course, is saying is he's not a little delicate. But if I put the spaces in between the words, it'll probably get more accurate. Kinjo. Now, I see that now, okay. Oh, okay, so for Kinjo, you are not very delicate. Huh? I guess she's saying he's rude, but I don't get what that means. I mean, shouldn't it be... Shouldn't Chukum be like now as opposed to anything else? What? Nothing. Anyway, if you listen to the explanation, you'll understand right away. Okay, so I got wood on Mikako's second to last line. So Namu, that's third truth boil on the list. This one, okay. Wow, this is a lot of lines to wait through. Anticipate missing. Kobashikawa, you can read that. Okay. It's not a second to last one, though, so it doesn't match my notes, but... Okay, here we go. She looks so cute in that consent. The wooden plank. Is this what you're talking about, Kurukawa? That is right, Maeda. You're talking about the wooden plank that was lying near the weapon rack? Yes. According to Maeda, the weapons room was held together in the morning with the... He opened the weapons room with the help of Otori. Just because he opened the door with Otori doesn't mean that he's the culprit. That's not it. Think about it. After Otori went into the armory at dawn and came out, or before dawn and came out, only after that did Kobashikawa enter the armory. Until this time, the weapons room had not been opened. Then, when the door was blocked by a wooden plank? Well, then, when is, Anyway, the fact that Kobashikawa can open the door and went in means that the door was and the door... Wait, Kobashikawa opened the door and went in, and the door was blocked after that. However, according to Dark Circle's testimony, Otori once entered the armory and never came back. Right. In other words, Otori is not the person who blocked the door with the wooden plank. Well, that's natural. When I tried to open the door with Maeda in the morning, I was quite embarrassed when I found out that the armory, which had opened well, wouldn't open. I don't know why I'd be embarrassed. As I said before, I'd probably be surprised to know. I'm surprised that the door wouldn't open. As I said before, you can still head to the weapons room, even if you don't pass Kurukawa's room. After that, the weapons room was opened about once more. It may have been Otori's trick at that time. It's impossible. Since Kobashikawa last went into the armory, the weapons door had since opened only once. If Otori had entered and exited the armory, the sound would have been heard more than once. Yeah, you have to enter at the same time that Iranami left, right? They're kind of discounting that. In the first place, but then he would have to somehow left after that, which no one would have, because that would make 3 opening and closings. In the first place, they used the wooden plank as a latch to prevent the weapons room opening. If you do something like that inside, you won't be able to come out. That's right too. Which basically means it had to have been Kobashikawa who put the plank. But even if the planks were put in place using after he was shot, right? Planks using some trick from the outside. It wasn't just a plank. If you're Maeda, you know what I'm talking about. There wasn't just one plank. Yes, I saw it clearly. It was lying on the door along with the board. It broke. When the board broke, it fell to the ground at the same time, making it work. That was the smoke thing. And then we're going to intermission next. The object that fell along with the plank. We're already in an hour. I'm talking about the flash. You're talking about this flash bomb and the smoke bombs. Flash bomb and the smoke bomb. The smoke bomb, flash bomb, and the smoke bomb. Flash bomb, smoke bomb, right? Is that the tin can that was left near the door? Yes. Otori and I first opened it. When Otori and I first opened the door, we heard the sound of something breaking inside, and then immediately a tremendous amount of light and noise hit us. When I came to my senses after a while, the weapons room was full of smoke. The safety pan was left on the board, and as soon as the door was opened, the board broke and it inevitably fell to the floor. Okay, the smoke bomb was left on the board, and as soon as the door was opened, the board broke and inevitably it fell to the floor and exploded on impact. Yeah, that is so. It is so. Now, you know it's impossible to block the door like that from the outside. Then, Otorika is not the culprit? Wait just a moment, but I'm the one who wrote the letter and prepared the gun to explode. Actually, Kobashikawa fired my gun and it exploded. I told you a little while ago. It is true that Kobashikawa's right hand was torn. The cause of death was a gunshot wound. And Otori's... Did Otori shoot and kill Kobashikawa? That's not... Wait, Otori had clear murderous intent. Now it's contradictory to say that he wasn't the criminal. Why are you using unreasonable logic, psycho cop? Not everyone succeeds. You have murderous intent and not succeed in carrying it out. Even if Dark Circles is right, I don't think Teruya is the culprit. Then who is the culprit? Or because, regardless, Otori says the process of blocking a series of doors, the process of blocking doors is impossible. But there's no one who could do it in reverse. Or basically, but it happened, so that doesn't narrow down who did it. That is right. That is the biggest mystery of this case. Well, what are you talking about? One word. In short, it is an impossible crime. And at my sprite, intermission. Okay, continue. Impossible crime? What do you mean? The literal meaning is that the event occurred that no one can cause. That can't happen. Impossible means impossible. Just by the definition means that it did not happen. I can assure you that there is no such thing as an impossible crime in the world. I agree with that too. There's no problem in the world that cannot be solved. So, cancer? The fact that a result occurred means that there is a series of processes. The curse of Adam? Can you solve that, Ray? Or it's like a lay, right? Lay. So, how do you explain this incident? Asserting that this is an impossible crime means giving up on the case. There are still unsolved secrets in places that our thoughts cannot reach. But if Kinjo and Mikaru, who always know the core of the case without being embarrassed, without being surprised, that is, say that, then it is an unsolved mystery. Shut up! Do I look like I'm panicking? Yes, I'm sorry, but it seems that way. It's been like that for a few days now, but these days Kinjo-kun just doesn't look like Kinjo-kun at all. Just like Maida-kun a little while ago, before he got trapped in the ballroom. You noisy criminal. Kinjo, why are you doing this? It's really not like you to get so emotional so easily. Ignore him. Now, it's like a trial of, or war between, life and death. I'm taking care of a guy who loses his temper during the war, and we're just going to go after it together. Or something, I don't know. This guy, that guy. Okay, I'll say it again. This is not a case that will never be solved. Let's organize the information. Kinjo. Even if we set aside the fact that it was impossible for Otori to commit the crime, I think we need to look at the incident from a different perspective. Different point of view? If you think about it, all the deductions made so far are based on Kurukawa's testimony. Let me just point out here for a moment that there is someone who personally saw Kurukawa spying on the hallway. What are you talking about? In short, I don't believe too much in Kurukawa's testimony. What? Is what Kurukawa said true? She must have been hungry in such an extreme situation. Wouldn't she have dozed off for a moment? There's a possibility that Kurokawa is the culprit. If that's the case, it's like she's playing with all of us. Kinjo. Are you crazy? Have you already gone back? Can't believe that sound like that sound coming out of your mouth. What? I'm just talking about a possibility. Tomori. Oh, Kinjo's testimony during Tomori's murder case. At that time, Kinjo proved our alibi by attaching a tape to our private rooms. That's evidence that no one but Kinjo knows until now. Or until then. It's the same story. That and this are different. What I was doing back then was what I had been doing ever since the incident, and this was simply testifying that I saw and heard you. You're just simply testifying that you saw and heard things. It is meaningless to determine whether the testimony is true or false. Have you forgotten what you said? I am disappointed in you, Kinjo. Even though I thought Kinjo was a crazy guy, I recognize your reasoning ability. Even your head has started spinning, or something like that. Haha. But since the situation is that desperate, isn't Kinjo trying to do everything he can? Kurokawa, how can you prove your testimony? The last one is like, middle? Let me stick it into Google Translate. Your testimony. Oh, just your testimony at the end. I don't know how this part goes, because, like, it's going to end up just being, like, I choose Satsuki at some point. So, there's probably less than a lot of dialogue without any interactivity in it. Well, I don't know why you have to do this. Why not ask Uranami and Otori? Yes? You also heard my testimony. Otori admitted to entering the armory a while ago. How about you, Uranami? I went out at dawn, and then of course I went out at dawn, just like Kurokawa said, I am the culprit. I don't know, she said I did what Kurokawa said I did. Ignoring the backstory, even if you get hurt, just looking at it now, Dark Circle's testimony has its own credibility. I don't know what get hurt means, but... If you were me, you would have known right away without having to do this complicated work. You're noisy. If your reasoning hits a wall, you have to try everything you can. Eh! You admitted that your reasoning is blocked. With your own words. It's funny now. Or more like, how interesting. Be quiet, Makar. The same goes for you. Are you ready to ridicule others? Stop it. Whoa! Is this why Ray gets all up Kurokawa's butt at the end of this? Because she's like upset that she took power over her. Somehow, there is something powerful about Kurokawa in this class trial. Somehow, there's something powerful about Kurokawa, period. Everyone, don't get upset. It's a difficult case, so you need to regain stability more than usual. Or retain stability, maybe. Let's calm down and look back from the beginning again. Was there something missing? I'm sorry, as Mayada said, I was too excited. I apologize. So first of all, Teruya Otori is not the culprit. I guess it's clear up to that point. Even if that is correct, I need to check again. Otori, I'm really sure you sent the letter to Kobashikawa and loaded the bullet. Or the bullets. They would turn out like, he admitted loading one bullet, and there were two. Yeah, that whole thing. Oh, well, okay. Should I say this? I still can't believe that I wasn't the culprit. It might be because I didn't look at the Monokuma file properly, but since his right hand was torn, as I intended, I guessed I did it. That's probably not a lie. Otori really thought that he was the culprit. I said a little while ago that it would be expected that if he were confessing. Or something to do with, like, if he confessed to it, because he thought he was the culprit, then he probably, like, wouldn't be the culprit in trying to cover that up. There's a good chance it's not because it came from his head, but can you say that? I don't know. Something about the same topic. Try. There are two accomplices. Oh. So it's basically Akane said, the good chances is nothing since it came from my head. But there's something I'd like to say, right? And Kurokawa says, try. There are two accomplices, or actual criminals. How about dismissing it as an opinion coming from your brain anyway? I didn't expect it. It's a garbage opinion. It's a story not worth considering. Immediately crumple up those thoughts, pull them out of your head, and throw them in the trash. This is something I said after putting a lot of thought into it. If Otori had an accomplice, there would have been someone who objected when Otori was pointed out as the culprit. Even if not, Otori would have confessed everything and confessed everything. Still, the real culprit is different, and if we had pointed out Otori-kun as the culprit, everyone except the real culprit would have died. I can't even think about the development that the real culprit used to kill Otori-kun, or can't even think of how he did it. The real culprit did it, basically. Hey, I shake my head. But that won't be the case. Even if the real culprit is Otori, working behind the scenes to cover up the crime, it's impossible for him to work secretly due to the limited situation at the armory. Huh? And even if there was an accomplice, the Kurokawa's testimony is believed that the only remaining suspect is Hiranami. Wait a second. I have a thought that passed like a flash in my head right now. Now that means I'm the culprit. Why are you so persistent on this plan to name yourself as the criminal? Aside from that, you don't know anything about this incident. I still don't understand that the more you claim you are the culprit, the more something about do I want to dissect this? Nah, okay. Kinjo doesn't understand what's going on. That's the summary. Let me organize my thoughts. First of all, Otori is not the criminal. He did not shoot. What Otori did was call Kobashikawa by letter and create a trap that would cause the gun to explode by loading the wrong bullets. But didn't. I haven't figured that out yet. And what the criminal, who is said to be the one who directly killed Kobashikawa, did was what Otori did not do. They shot and killed Kobashikawa, disrupted the inside of the armory, and blocked the door with a plank and a flash bomb. Otori doesn't know what the real culprit did. So, conversely, does the real culprit know what Otori did? No. There is no way the culprit would know what Otori did. As Mikaru said a little while ago, due to the sealed nature of the space called the armory, the criminal cannot know unless the criminal sees it in person or Otori informs them in advance. Then who is the culprit? Wait a minute, guys. There's something I want to check for a moment. Maeda? Before Kobashikawa watched during the early hours of the morning, from that point on, someone had been hiding in the armory. Could this happen? No, that probably did not happen. Kinjo was tied up, and Taira saw him go into the room before that. Mikaru did not come to the sleeping room after I last entered the empty room on the left side of the dance hall. I don't know. Something about she didn't do it. When did you see this again? What does that mean? I was checking the empty room all morning. As expected, the only suspects are the two people Kurokawa had seen, and they don't know what each other did. Again, the criminal did not know that Kobashikawa had received the letter, and did not know why his right hand was torn. But they shot and killed Kobashikawa. There is someone who fits these conditions right now. This fact became clear as soon as the trial began. They entered the line of suspects moving at dawn, and there was no one else capable of committing the crime. But is this girl really the culprit? If so, then why? Let's give away it's the girl. You guys don't seem to want to admit it at all. I think I know. The identity of the criminal. What? Maeda knows the identity of the criminal? Main character coming in. A person who currently satisfies all the conditions of the criminal. It is only you, Uranami. Wasira. Wasira. Something like that. Uranami ga is the culprit. Long live Ed. Mase, whatever that means. I finally came to think of you. You finally came to think of me as the criminal. Only Maeda understands me. I am really happy. Maeda. I've been pointing... This doesn't make any sense. What in the world is Google Translate doing here? They try to break this apart. Okay, so wait, Maeda. Look now. That's probably what it means. Look now. She was pointed out as the culprit, but something about, is that good? I don't know. Do you really think Uranami is the culprit? Think about it. The only person capable of committing the crime is Uranami. At the beginning of the trial, when Iranami came out saying that she was the culprit, we questioned her about various things to make sure that she was really the culprit. However, Iranami had no idea about the letter summoning Kobashikawa and what destroyed his right hand, which we thought that the culprit would naturally know. So we thought Iranami was not the culprit. But see, the two things mentioned earlier were actually the work of Otori, not the culprit. Otori did not know that there was someone who shot and killed Kobashikawa separately. Then, on the other hand, did the real culprit know that Otori sent the letter and destroyed his hand? Probably not. If they hadn't worked with Otori in advance, it would be impossible to know Otori's actions. In that case, the real culprit is the person who shot and killed Kobashikawa, but doesn't know that the letters sent to Kobashikawa, does not know about the letters sent to Kobashikawa's room, or why his right hand was ruptured. And there is someone who fits this condition. The person who confessed in their own words that they shot and killed Kobashikawa, but also said that they did not know about the letter or the right hand. That's Iranami. Well, I don't know what you're saying because it's difficult, but you're right anyway. Just how I killed Kobashikawa. That's it, I killed Kobashikawa. I think Maeda-kun's reasoning is correct, but I don't understand Satsuki-san's appearance like that at all. Why are you doing this, Satsuki-chan? Why are you so happy that you were singled out as the culprit? How could you say so lightly that you killed Kobashikawa, who was such close to you, Satsuki-san, with your own hands? Wouldn't you be sad? Think again, incompetent. Of course, as you said, she is the only one capable of committing the crime, but that is absolutely not a criminal's reaction. Even if you say she's crazy, it's such an unusual reaction that you can't explain it. I'm not crazy. This is a completely normal reaction. Unfortunately, I don't know why Iranami reacts like that and keeps saying that she is the culprit. But I can't think of any other reasoning. What Maeda said, Maeda's words make sense. In fact, when it was proven that Otori was not the culprit, that was enough to suspect Iranami. It was that kind of situation. Maybe right after the trial starts. There is a stereotype that Iranami cannot be the criminal. Maybe I did not think about it. Iranami, I'll check it one more time. Are you the culprit? You shot and killed Kobashikawa with your own hands? Yes, that's right. I am the culprit. Wait, if you're really the criminal, could you explain why you're so positive? It's the same as the reason you've been so persistent in appealing to yourself as the criminal. I don't know. Now that the class trial has started, I don't feel like making excuses, so I just confess. So, as it has been decided, please execute me quickly. If you come out refreshed like that, you won't seem like a criminal. Me too. To begin with, Satsuki-chan is not the type to commit murder. If I'm this firm, not the type to commit murder isn't really hold any water in any sort of Danganronpa thing anywhere. Unfortunately, though, Danganronpa doesn't take advantage of that as much, but... the original Trigger Happy Havoc, they basically the people who seem like the most likely to commit a murder committed the murders. If I'm this firm, I'm starting to think that maybe I'll just pick the wrong culprit, like Makaru said earlier, and let everyone die together. Or she'll just try to make everyone pick the wrong culprit, if she's this firm. I said it wasn't like that. I'm just telling the truth. What should I do? After identifying the culprit, it becomes even more difficult to be certain. Iranami's attitude is also actually I don't understand, as Makaru said. Is it okay to point out Iranami as the culprit like this? Everyone stops and think about the crime is possible, but the reaction is strange. Come to your senses. Crime is impossible, even for Iranami? Why? However, if you think about it, based on Kijo and Kubukawa's testimonies, the only people who came into the armory in the early morning were Kobashikawa and Otori Uranami. Or the other people, that is. Only people were Kobashikawa, Otori, and Uranami. Among them, Otori was the first to come out of the armory, and then Kobashikawa entered the armory. Just before this point, he was passing through the hallway with Uranami, so they went to the armory together. Perhaps it was at this time that she shot Kobashikawa. Judging from the fact that Uranami came out into the hallway alone with the sound of the armory opening, there's a high possibility that this is true. Don't go away. You said it with your own mouth now. Uranami killed Kobashikawa and came out of the armory. Comes out means someone somehow blocking the door? Ah. It's a clue that you guys confirmed and killed a while ago. It's, confirmed a while ago, or something. It's impossible to block the door from the outside like that, so the rumor is that the culprit was inside the armory until at least my Otori opened the door. Uranami came out of the armory after that. Or not, like, after, like, not after they opened the door, but, you know, like, she came out of the armory. Even if this happens, will people say that she is the culprit? And looking at Uranami's reaction, it seems like she doesn't even know what the weapons room was blocked. How about that, Uranami? Oh, what is it? I know, of course I know. A wooden plank was used as a barricade, and I was leaned against the door. This is just like falling asleep during a trial. How is it there are still people who think Uranami is the culprit? After listening to Kijo, it seems that Uranami is not the culprit. And then Kurokawa comes in to save the day. In the end, the problem is the locking of the weapons room. If this is resolved, there's no problem, even if Uranami is the culprit. Even if you think about it, it's impossible to insert a wooden plank into the armory from the outside and place a bomb on it. It would be difficult even with a regular door, but the weapons door is a heavy, thick, soundproof iron door. There are no gaps. I think the prerequisites were wrong from the start. Even if I whine here, I probably won't solve this riddle. I would rather go back to the beginning and try to organize the case again. Wanakuma, please. It may sound stupid, but I don't like trials that take too long. It's not really a warning, but you can figure it out. It may sound stupid, but I don't like trials that take too long. It's not really a warning, but you can figure this one out. Alibi at dawn. Kurokawa's testimony. Otori's deeds. A wooden plank that prevents the weapons door from opening. Uranami's incomprehensible reaction. What is it? What did we miss? Why does Uranami take that attitude in the first place? Even though Kijo seems just as confused, his reasoning cuts to the core. Kijo is right. So, something about the door being blocked by Uranami. The door could not have been blocked by Uranami, right? That's a big deal. Things are getting more and more complicated in my head. This is the most important moment. Weapons room. Wood plank. Flash bomb. How to block a door from the outside. There's no need to wait and go around like that. If you think about it a little, it is clear. It's a waste of time. Wait a minute, why did you set off the flash bomb and smoke bomb in the first place? Why did they? If the criminal hiding inside escapes by taking advantage of the light and smoke the moment the door opens, the trick of blocking the armory from the inside is solved. Now, no, this is something that is already mentioned. If you think about Dark Circle's original testimony, this is nonsense. Torii Otori and Satsuki Uranami were all seen coming out of the armory. The last thing that came out of the armory was, I was sure, was Uranami. But opening the door and coming out of the armory means the door was not blocked at that point. So in other words, this means that Kobashikawa's body was left alone in the weapons room right before Maeda and I opened the door together? Then what? What? This doesn't make any sense. It's not like the corpse came to life and blocked the door by itself. Oh, this is starting to get creepy. Oh, Tyra! Wait a minute. What did you just say? I'm starting to feel creepy. No, before that. Like a zombie in a movie where a corpse moves and blocks the door. Of course, that can't be possible. That's unscientific. Speaking of unscientific, the teddy bear before our eyes seems even more unscientific. What are you talking about? I am a product of cutting-edge science! The body moved and blocked the door. Of course, such a thing does not exist in reality. But just like Otori said earlier, Kobashikawa was the only one left. Until the end. In the armory until the end. Sama. Which would be like, no way, I guess. Could it have happened like that? The identity of the person who prevented the weapons torture, the weapons room, who blocked the weapons room door is. And I can actually do this one despite it being Korean because it's a name. Okay, but which is not first? Haruhiko? Kobashikawa's first, so we want to Ko. Got it. Okay, Ba. Si, Ka. Kawa. Haruhiko. There's Ru. Ah, I missed it. Come on, give me letters. Or syllables. Whatever we want here. Haruhiko. He. Come on. I want, yeah. Give me the heat. Give me the heat. There's another he. Come on, get it. Yes! Choose blood. Unnatural blood stains. Okay. That's it! As expected, he's the only one. The identity of the person who blocked the door to the armory was... Wait, do you know who the real criminal is, Maeda? I didn't mean to say I was Kobashikawa just because the body moved. I was just joking. No. Thanks to Tyra, I was able to come up with it. That's right, Kobashikawa is the only one who could block the weapons room door. Kobashikawa is the culprit? He committed suicide? Wait, you all forgot Monokuma said suicide is prohibited. What's he gonna do though? He said that if you kill yourself in any way, he'll treat that like a dog's death. Which means that you wouldn't let you out of the ballroom, right? Kobashikawa was killed by someone other than himself, which is why Monokuma treated it as an incident in a class trial is being held like this. No. Maeda never said that it was suicide. The person who closed the weapons room door was Kobashikawa. What? As Maeda said, the person who shot and killed Kobashikawa was... The immediate culprit is Iranami. It was impossible for Iranami to block the weapons room door. Kobashikawa. How? With this, there is no reason why Iranami is not the culprit. No, that can't be possible. The fact that Kobashikawa prevented the closing of the weapons is simply an assumption that can be possible given the circumstances, but there's no evidence. I don't know what he's trying to say. Like, it's possible, there's no evidence. The evidence is nothing else works. There is no evidence? No, I have evidence. I'm not blaming you for blocking the door without any... I'm blocking Kobashikawa for blocking the weapons room door without any evidence. But there's no way Kinjo doesn't know about this evidence. So why is he contradicting like this? No, let's not worry about it now. It's about this incident first. The evidence may have prevented Kobashikawa from the evidence that Kobashikawa blocked the weapons room door is, and then this is my my notes say unnatural bloodstains. Is the evidence is the bloodstains. Bloodstains. Everyone knows the bloodstains scattered in large quantities in the armory. I didn't think it was a little strange while looking at it. Or didn't you? Well, it definitely felt a little strange. Then what can I say? It's more like a road made of blood rather than a blood splatter. That's it. It's a bloodstain that looks like it was wandering around the weapons depot. It doesn't seem like that could be explained if Kobashikawa was bleeding because... It looks like that could be explained if Kobashikawa was bleeding and was looking for boards and flash bombs, smoke bombs, after being shot. Could that be explained? It's possible, but would it be far-fetched to say that Harukigo Kobashikawa himself closed the weapons torture room based solely on appearance? It's already in the realm of speculation, or it's purely or something. But it does not contradict anything. The only one who definitely has a chance is Kobashikawa. Even if the culprit was dragging the body around, not only would there be no reason to do so, but evidence would remain. No, it's a contradiction. Kinjo? Let's make a concession and say that everything Maeda said is true. But Kobashikawa was murdered very cruelly by the criminal. Even if you leave one more evidence of the culprit, it's not enough. Instead, he helped the culprit with the trick. It's like he wasn't doing it to basically saying, would he... Like, it wouldn't be enough to explain this if he were just trying to leave more evidence of the culprit. He would have had to have tried to help the culprit with his trick. That's probably what I think Kinjo is trying to say here. I don't know about that either. However, if you wander around such emotional things and only look at the information left in the case, you can say that it was Kobashikawa who blocked the door, even if it was by using the erasure method. So if you lay aside the notion, this isn't emotional. There is no way that a victim can help a criminal. Stockholm Syndrome. I don't believe in that. Okay, I'm gonna have to cuss here to do what Google Translate translates this to, but I'm gonna do it. Stockholm Syndrome. I don't believe in that shit! It's a type of mental illness. So you mean you don't believe in mental illnesses? Even that requires the premise that the criminal showed some kindness and gentlemanly behavior toward the victim. But the criminal was kind to Kobashikawa? Instead, they killed him! Maeda's reasoning is the worst of all absurdities! Hey, what is Stockholm Syndrome? Victims who were taken hostage by robbers or kidnappers. When those came to rescue them. It refers to a phenomenon of being hostile toward rescuers or police and taking the side of the criminals. Kinjo is strange. If you were a normal person, you would have excluded such emotional things and reasoned based on the logical of the situation. I was not emotional. It is natural fact. There is no need to question it. It is impossible for both sides of the earth to have victims who deserve to be saved go along with this obvious evil. Saving them is what I must do. I cannot leave it to your pretentious reasoning. And beyond that, there are loopholes in Maeda's reasoning. I just do what I have to do. I'll refute it. Okay, Kinjo's testimony on the second round. I believe. Why are you doing this? Kizarugi, please don't correct that. Use this. Oh. I will correct your ridiculous reasoning. Why are you doing this, Kinjo? You know best that there is nothing more to refute here. You are making an inference that is unacceptable from my perspective. That can't happen, and it shouldn't happen. And if there is anything left to refute, take note of it carefully. Basically, if there is something left to refute, take care of it. I'm gonna get smacked by not reading these directions, but whatever. Take note of this thing. Okay, so I use Kinjo's testimony. Oh, after you do 4. Oh dear. I don't remember how nasty this was. Okay. I don't know what this says. What happened? A glitched out, but it worked. I almost messed that up because I was destroying them. I didn't destroy just the yellow part. Total bonus for speaking nonsense. Kinjo, what's wrong? Kobashikawa did not die instantly. As I said, anyone could do it, but Kobashikawa's chest was punctured, his legs were damaged. He had no choice but to die instantly. No, Kobashikawa did not die instantly. Though he was hit in the chest, the bullet passed straight through Kobashikawa's body without passing out the other side. The amount of impact was relatively less than that of being stuck, if it were stuck. So it would have been possible to even move, if only just a little. It's sophistry. Anyone could argue that. Stop it now, Kinjo. It's not sophistry. The person who told me this was none other than you, Kinzo Tsurugi. Ick. Incompetent, is that true? If it's about penetration, of course, I know it well. It was the police who informed me of that fact. During the investigation, at first I thought he was dead because he was shot in the chest. Well, that's true. Kinjo told me that he would have died right away, and that his lung would have been punctured, and that he would have had difficulty breathing, but that he would have moved around a little bit. Okay, that time, just by chance. Kinjo, why are you doing this? At this point, it seems like Chicken Joe's the culprit. No, it's supposed to be, it seems like Kinjo is the culprit. Kinjo-kun is the culprit. You pointed out Satsuki-chan is the culprit, and only said that Kobashikawa-kun did the behind-the-scenes work, so why are you arguing so pitifully? Shut up, criminal! Kobashikawa was murdered! He ended up being another victim that I had to protect. Or I failed to protect, rather. The victim who was supposed to be protected was actually on the criminal side? Something like that can't happen. Kinjo. Yes, I cannot accept the absurd logic. Or you cannot accept the absurd logic. If you follow your logic, Tomori Kizuna was also a victim, but in reality she was a scary bitch who was planning a crime. And you say you condone Tomori Kizuna's plan to kill? In that case, it was an accident. She was not a victim. Oh, but then you're like going all after Akane though. Also, what I said a rebuttal to the incompetent person on that topic was that Haruhiko Kobashikawa tried to kill Satsuki Uranami. Even if you leave more evidence of the culprit, it makes no sense to help when you don't have enough. Or something. Oh my gosh. The victim you were supposed to protect actually tried to kill someone, and was it on a reverse tour? Or something? They are very good citizens? Ane yo. No. 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 Oh, what the heck? What on earth am I for? For what reason? But, Kinjo. Stroke. Kinjo ga. Kinjo. Kinjo has collapsed. By the way, it's the last minigame for the in summary. We're through with all the minigames. It says the in summary. Kinjo, come to your senses. Kinjo. Hey, wait a minute. We're still in the trial. I can't accept that you leave the courtroom on your own. But Kinjo. He'll be fine. He's a pain in the ass. He passed out during the trial. Leaving the courtroom during the trial is one of my taboos. Well, I had no choice. I'll take him to the dormitory. You stay here in your seats and wait. Everyone has been waiting for a long time, but Kinjo has been safely put in bed in the dormitory. So don't worry about him and continue the trial. But if he goes on like this, it'll become no fun. Kinjo, the fact that Kinjo was sent to out of the courtroom means that Kinjo is not the criminal, and the number of possibilities is reduced by one. Is Kinjo okay? That was my first time seeing Kinjo like that. As Monokuma said, he's still on trial. We're still on trial. We've forgotten about him now, and he's not dead. Let's forget about him now, he's not dead. Okay. I understand. So, how far do we go? The culprit is Uranami. She couldn't have closed the weapon room door. Kobashikawa. Should we make a decision like this? No one has a different opinion? A different opinion? Is that all there is to it? There was no disagreement. Of course, logically, as Kinjo Tsurugi said, I also do not understand why Haruhiko Kobashikawa, who was the victim, helped the criminal. Well, I'm not sure about that either. Anyway, it's almost like it's been decided now. Now, even if you point out the absolute culprit, no one will be dissatisfied. Wait, not yet. What else? We haven't played the last minigame yet. I said there's no argument based on logic? Why did Haruhiko Kobashikawa help the criminal? And why are you, the criminal, so excited? That's the same for me too. The reasoning behind the Uranami incident has been completed. Looking at the results, the reasoning alone, no one will be able to argue that Uranami is not the culprit, I guess. But, why? Why do you call yourself a criminal? Are you trying to die? Why is it like that? Like I said before, I guess I got annoying. It got annoying. It's probably not a particularly great reason. I'm also bad at lying, but I think I'll do better than Satsuki-chan. Don't play around. If you get executed, it'll be over. But if you die, the truth of this case will forever remain an unsolved problem. I am a woman who doesn't give up on a problem until I understand it. Tell me, if Uranami is really the culprit, you have a duty to take responsibility for your actions. Tell me, when I thought I was the culprit, I confessed everything. What are you trying to hide? Hear me, Uranami. I don't know. I'm just a criminal, that's all. She started doing something. I don't know. Blah, 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 blah. Uranami? Now that things have come to this, I will force you to open your mouth, Uranami. About the secrets of this case involving Kobashikawa and the reason for your actions when you claim to be the culprit. This doesn't do that at all, but we gotta segue into this somehow. Oh no, we have to do this. Oh, I forgot about this. Oh no, what the hey? Oh, this one's bad, I think. It's not as hard as Big Priests, but it's still hard. Oh no, it's insane. Whoa. Oh no. No, not this music. Not that you do music. I failed, right? Yep. Ah! Ah! Yeah, this one's not as hard as Kinji's, but it's still hard. You have to basically defeat her before, like... Oh no. Oh, but... Okay. Took 2 tries. Oof. I see the bitch out, it gets so chaotic the second time. The reasoning is not over yet, Uranami. Not over? That's true. There's one thing we overlooked. Anyone, do you know? Was there something like that? As Satsuki-san said, the reasoning wasn't over. It's about the pistol that destroyed Haruhiko Kobashikawa's right hand. That's right, because the method was the same as Otori earlier. I decided that it was Otori's doing and passed on. But if you think about it a little, you can understand. It wasn't Otori who destroyed Kobashikawa's right hand. Well, that doesn't make sense. He obviously replaced the bullet, and as intended, Kobashikawa fired the gun, his right hand was destroyed. Idiot, if you do say what you say, the gun you touched should have been shattered. Why would it remain intact? That's right. Now to come to think of it, even when Otori-kun was accused of being the criminal, he said he didn't know about the other pistol. That's right. I did it accidentally because I was trying to make an excuse. Think about it again. If Kobashikawa had fired the gun as I intended, the gun I touched would have been shattered. Otori. I'm pretty sure. Are you sure you did not touch two guns? That's right. I can guarantee this much. You can trust it. I only touched one thing. Or one gun. Wait a minute. Then, doesn't that get weirder? If Otori-kun didn't do it, then why did Kobashikawa-kun get caught in the same trap that Otori-kun did and get his right hand injured? We can't figure that out on our own. Except for one person, Iranami. I don't know. No, you most likely know. Iranami said at the beginning of the trial that she shot and killed Kobashikawa in self-defense because he tried to shoot her. From here on, it's really just my opinion without any basis. If what Iranami said was true, didn't Kobashikawa know that if he fired the gun, it would explode? He shot it knowingly? The fact that he cut his hand off on purpose means that he was trying to commit suicide? Or destroyed his hand on purpose? Maybe so. Tech! I'm telling you, it's just a baseless imagination. Just listen to it. I don't know how someone changed the bullet in the same way Otori did. Perhaps it was Kobashikawa himself who did that? From about the latter half of the trial, the word suicide kept coming back to me. This case was too strange to be considered an ordinary murder case. However, Kobashikawa did not commit suicide. Monokuma said that he does not treat suicide, even if he wanted to commit suicide, he would have to be able to do it. He wouldn't be able to do it because it would end in death. Well, it wouldn't accomplish anything. So I thought about it. I wonder if Kobashikawa is trying to save Iranami, who tried to kill him. Save? Probably save her. He deliberately aims the gun, which explodes when fired, at Iranami and surprises her, causing her to shoot him. Even if she shoots, she doesn't get hurt and it just flies off. And it just flies off his hand. But since he was shot by Iranami, it's not treated as a suicide. Afterwards, when Iranami leaves in surprise, he's left alone in the armory and does some behind-the-scenes work to make the incident more complicated. For example, preventing weapons the room from opening and messing up the guns. Of course, there's no evidence, just my imagination. Blocking the door, Kobashikawa blocked the door, seemed like he was trying to help the criminal, so I thought about it as a basis. Kobashikawa tried to save Iranami? And he gave up his life? Wait, it seems plausible, but I have to end it based on your imagination. There's a possibility that the words of incompetent are true. After listening to Maeda-kun, I was wondering if that might be the truth. Think about it. Would you give up your life to save others? Humans are not that simple. It's okay to do it in normal circumstances, but even more difficult in extreme situations like ours, where there is no food and your life is at stake. But, so she's saying it's hard to do that. Not long ago, Hatano also, for Taira, threw her life away. Ayame-chan. That's wrong right now. It wasn't an extreme situation at the time, and that saving Taira wasn't her pure intention. I forgot. Have you forgotten? Atano Ayame clearly had intention of saving Taira, but she also had the desire to escape from here. Because she committed murder with such a half-hearted mind, she ended up getting caught by us. But in the case of Haruhiko Kobashikawa, like Ayame Hatano, there is no single reason for being alone. According to what he said, he gave up his life purely to save Iranami. But in this case of Haruhiko Kobashikawa, unlike Ayame Hatano, it would have to be the single lone reason. According to what he said, he gave up his life purely to save Satsuki Iranami. No matter how close Haruhiko Kobashikawa was to Satsuki Iranami, it's absurd to say that he gave up his life in an extreme situation when they were not family. Of course, if that is possible, it deserves respect. I know. That's why I said it was a groundless idea. I didn't even have to work hard to refute it. You didn't even have to work hard to refute it. Of course, like that crazy cop, I don't think it's possible at all. But this is so unexpected. If I had been thinking about Satsuki Iranami like that, I would have done it sooner. You have no fear. But if what Maeda-kun said is wrong, how to explain Kobashikawa-kun's right hand? I have to think about that from now on. As expected, there are no way things will work out the way I thought. As Mikaru said, it seems so unexpected. It's going to be a long story. I think it would be very difficult for me to make the decision to save a child, no matter how close I am, to the point of giving up my own life. Anyway, there's no disagreement that Iranami is the culprit. Is it really necessary to mention Kobashikawa's right hand? Macha macha! Are you gonna finish soon? I am slowly getting sick of this. No, but we need to know the truth of the case. They need to play the... That's right. What? Maeda is not really psychic. Are you psychic? He can read other people's minds with precision. Why are you talking about all of a sudden? It's not adult-like to keep throwing tantrums, and it's a nuisance to everyone, so I don't think the trial will ever end. As Maeda said, since I committed murder, I am responsible for it. Iranami? Where should I start talking? I think it started around the time when Kobashikawa came to my room in the early morning. In fact, I couldn't even imagine what happened until this moment. Kobaching. What happened? You must be hungry. It's something about it being dawn. Even more than Satsuki. I think I'm starving to death. Iranami. I'm not trying to play around, so please listen seriously. I have something to tell you. Kobaching? Yes, okay, tell me. It's a bit different here. Please follow me for a moment. This is the weapons room, or weapons depot. Why are we here? Iranami. I'm fine. I haven't eaten anything for a few days. The only part that's painful is... You? I'm starving to the point of death, but other than that, I'm fine. But suddenly, out of the blue, something gives me goosebumps. Actually, I have a favor to ask you. What do you want to ask of me? Kill me. The sudden noise made you feel guilty? Of course, it's a shame that Kobaching has lust for girls, but it's not enough to kill him. I told you I wasn't kidding. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry for suddenly screaming. Damn it, how do I explain this? Kobashikawa? Are you trying to die? I've always been thinking about this. If you think about it, the fact that we formed this division was largely our fault. If we had left just a little food in the beginning, things wouldn't have gotten this serious. That cannot be refuted. In addition, Kinjo was guarding the armory, so no murders occurred. In the end, Kinjo went crazy too. There's no one guarding the armory now. If you don't make a decision now, someone will definitely commit murder. I understand what Kobashi Kawa wants to say. It means the two of us are most likely guilty. Who are most likely guilty should take responsibility. To be honest, I didn't want to drag you in. I was the one who suggested stealing food. If possible, I wanted to end it with myself dying. Kobashi Kawa reminds me... I'm reminded of Monokuma's words. Only when a murder occurs can we leave the ballroom. I do not tolerate suicide. In the end, we can't solve it alone, and we need the help of others. The person helping you also becomes a criminal. They have no choice but to be executed, so you risk death. I have no one to suggest except you, who has committed the same crime, or Otori. But as you know, Otori is a bit of a rough atmosphere. Of course, I have no intention of forcing you to do so. The moment you accept it, you are certain to die. So do whatever Iranami wants. I like it. I will cooperate with you. What? I said I would do whatever Kobashi Kawa wants. Is it like this? Is it okay? I'm going to die? But even if you are trapped in the ballroom, you're still going to die. That's right. Rather than just staying like this and watching other friends become murderers or starve to death, I'd rather die saving everyone, like Kobashi Kawa. Uranami? I'm sorry, it's because of guys like me that you're such a good person. Check. There is a condition. What is the condition? I don't want to kill Kobashi Kawa. So I want Kobashi Kawa to kill me. What are you talking about? You're gonna die anyway, so why do you want to die by my hands? If you play the role of the criminal, you will be executed by Monokuma. I really hate that. I would rather be killed by, if I play the role of the criminal, I will be executed by Monokuma. I really hate that. I would rather be killed by, Kobachin. But then Kobachin gets killed by executed by Monokuma. I'm thinking, are you thinking of me killing you by shooting you with a gun in the armory here? But don't you think it would hurt to get shot to death? It's no matter. I don't want to be killed by a guy like Monokuma. I don't think so. No, there's no way I could kill you. Likewise. Do you think I would kill Kobachin? Heck. This will not end. Okay, they need to piece this apart. Okay, so take the name out, and the beginning part. There will be no end to this. Why are we sitting around fighting amongst ourselves? This is ridiculous. Because Kobachin proposes the impossible task of me killing him first. If you can't do it, then why did you accept it? Then don't do it. That's not possible. I've already decided. Then kill me. I can't do that again. I really value Kobaching. I wouldn't kill my friend. I'm not happy even when I say... Will you not be happy even when if I said thank you? Kobaching's face turned red. You're noisy. We're talking about something important that involves life. Please don't joke around. My stomach hurts because I didn't eat anything. Are you okay? As you know, we don't have time either. We might starve to death tomorrow. The other kids, meanwhile, the other kids might be planning a murder. This is difficult. Then, let's do it like this. Have you ever seen a Western drama? A Western drama? Or seen the good, the bad, and the ugly? I've never seen it, but I don't know what, but I know what it is. It's like walking backwards in the wilderness and turning around and shooting at the same time after a certain amount of time. Okay, let's decide on that. It's not really like a Western way of doing it. When I think Western, I think of a quick draw. This is like the Aaron Burr, Alexander Hamilton duel kind of thing, where you have like the gun above your head and you point it down. In the worst case scenario, we could end up killing each other, but it wouldn't be suicide, so the other kids would be able to live. Anyway, it's inconvenient to have to shoot Kobachin, but... Okay, that would be fair. I'll take it. If you decide, let's move quickly and pick a pistol. We still have a long way to go. Why does it take so long to choose a gun? Wait just a moment. I'm almost done. I'm ready, Uranami. Are you ready, Uranami? I'm a woman who doesn't speak twice. Anyway, I think it's more fun to decide it this way. I've said it over and over again, but please be serious. Have we not been playing a lot of games so far? Basketball, running, poker, darts. As a result of giving my all without any consideration, the results are equal. What is it? Remember all the results of the previous matches so far? I've maintained a precise balance with all wins, losses, with a precise score. All these numbers. 14, 6. Oh. What is... Oh no, I have to put it the Korean keyboard. Okay. Oops. I don't care. No, I don't want to do whiteboard. Come on. Be Hangul. There you go. So... 14 matches. Okay. 6... 6 wins. 6... I forgot how to do... 6 losses. And then... 2 draws. These are tied. We've maintained a precise balance. 16 matches, 6 wins, 6 losses, 2 draws. I am useless with my guy with a good memory. Suddenly, thinking that this was the final match, I got a strange feeling. It's so hard to believe that you're risking your life. If I feel like giving up even now, I really have no intention of forcing you into it. If you feel like giving up even now, I have no intention of forcing you into it. Because I'm serious too. No, I'm serious too. As Kobashikawa said, should we stop playing around? Are you ready? Yes. Turn back from here. Then shoot at the same time. Yes. Iranami. Kobashikawa. Kobashikawa? Kobashikawa. Why'd you do that? Cock. Yeah, that's good. Iranami, last game is your victory. That's not it. Why did Kobashikawa's gun explode? Mine. You saw it, right? This is ridiculous. Let's do it again. I was worried about what happened if I was hit in a bad place and died instantly. Fortunately, it looks like I'm still alive. I'll tell you when what I can. I'm sorry, Iranami, I lied. You want to kill me and be executed to save everyone. Actually, that's not it. What? I really wanted was to save you. You, Iranami. Me? Or you? I didn't tell the other kids because I thought it would be useless information. It would only cause confusion. While researching a few days ago, I found a badge with a Monokuma symbol on it. Right after I picked it up, the Monokuma appeared and congratulated me on finding the treasure and said that he would give me a reward. Is that really the treasure that Monokuma was talking about? Then he showed me a photo. Me and you. Kissing. Taking a selfie. Should I say... Kobashikawa. What kind of joke are you playing at a time like this? It was real. By showing it, I cannot forget a commemorative photo of my lover. And he disappeared. A Kobashikawa, and I've never regretted it. What does that mean? It's probably a bunch of pieces. Let alone a kiss. I don't have a picture of just the two of us. It's been a month since we first met in the first place. But how is it that it doesn't feel unfamiliar? Even if the photo was fake, I felt an unknown emotion. And I thought, I don't want to leave you to die. What? I have no idea what you're talking about. Stop it. It's making me cringe. Please bear with me, because the evacuation was already wrong anyway. I just wanted to say this. I might have been liking you before I knew it. Anyway, if I die like this, you will be the blackened. Since there are guys like Kinjo, they will, Maeda, like Kinjo, Mikaru, and Maeda, you will soon be followed or be found out. So, go back to your room. Pretend not to know anything and act as casual. Act casual. Leave the rest to me. What are you talking about? Kawashikawa? Stop talking. No matter how much they do, they won't know that I, the victim, planned all the tricks. The fact that I pretended to shoot and run and threw my right hand was part of that. This is a pretty old gun. Even if you manipulate the magazine just a little bit, you can pull the trigger and make it explode. Kawashikawa, you must not die. No, I'm going to die. And Iranami can live. Leave it to me. I can't let the person I like die like this. Kawashikawa, I'm sorry for being reckless like this. And when the trial is over, tell the other guys I'm sorry. I'm sorry for arguing with Otori. That Kinjo guy too. The other kids too. I'm sorry for sacrificing myself for Iranami. 2.5 hours. Okay. Damn, it hurts so bad. Washikawa, no, don't move, you'll die. Of course I'm going. I'm going to die. I can move. I have to finish my work. Go, probably. Hurry back. What if someone sees you? Before everything goes to waste. I hate you. This is wrong. You're gonna save me. Please. It's my last wish, so please grant it. Because I want you to live. Leave the rest to me and go. But... Go! Yes, that's okay. Thank you, Iranami. Is the truth that Monokuma told me true or fake? Because I like you. And then I went back to my room. Just like Kobashikawa said, I stayed still until morning. At that time, I didn't know what trick Kobashikawa had pulled. I only found out after hearing your story at the trial. This is all I know. As Maeda said, Kobashikawa was shot on purpose to save me. To confuse my reasoning even as I die. To confuse your reasoning. And basically, confuse his reasoning as he died. In other words, to save me. It's because he did the work behind the scenes. Is that it? That's too great a story. Kawashikawa says he's sorry to me. I tried to kill him, but I understand now. If he had seen the letter from Otori, he wouldn't have headed to the armory. Nevertheless, the reason why Kobashikawa went to the armory, it was different. He didn't even notice Otori's letter from the beginning. All he did was sacrifice himself to save one person, Iranami. Hang on. Then why didn't you take the same approach as Otori, Teruya? Unless you fix it in advance, there's no way you could explode. His hand could explode in the same way. I don't know that either. Oh, how would he do it the exact same way? However, when Kobashikawa chose the gun, he was doing something in the corner for a while. He was the guy who used to talk to me about guns, which wasn't funny, but so I guess he knew about it well. That idiot, right? Foolish. Like, you Japanese would be baka. Would he really give up his life for someone else? His life and a bunch of other people's? What were you thinking? You cooked away the dinner table that was prepared for you to survive. I don't understand. Yeah, it's like he died to save you and then you didn't accept it. I know that Kabashikawa liked me and didn't want me to die that much. I also I also worried a lot from when until the class trial took place. But I still think this is not the case. It is so unfair that you all die because of me. I'm sorry, Kabashikawa, but I'm happier where you all live. How could you do that? Even family members who are connected by blood value their own lives the most. For those of us who met not long ago, why would you know that? Like, your parents didn't value you. Well, I'm not as smart as Makaru, so I don't think I can give a reason why it's cool. I just said it was the culprit. I just said I was the culprit because it made more sense to me to do it that way. Then why? Why didn't you tell me everything from the beginning and hide the truth to create more suspicion? Since you didn't even tell the story behind it and just said that you were the culprit, it actually created confusion in the reasoning. It's because of Kabashikawa. Kabashikawa abandoned you to try to save me. I know, you know. In particular, I felt like Kabashikawa, who's already dead, would be insulted if someone like Kinjo found out. Right, he tried to kill everybody. I didn't want to do anything that would inconvenience Kabashikawa anymore, because I had already thrown away the preparations that he had made to save me. I finally said it. Still, please don't think negatively of Kabashikawa. I never would have thought of this before, and if it wasn't for Kabashikawa, we'd have all starved to death. That cannot be possible. Satsuki-chan, you are satisfied with that. Even if we live, you will die. Or are you satisfied with that? Even if you live, we will die. No, I'm not dying. So why are you guys worried? I'm very cheerful and I'm fine. Don't lose your smile no matter... Oh, she's like, I'm dying, so why are you guys worried? Probably not, I'm not dying. Google might have done some sort of like interpolation. They probably meant this. No, they didn't. I'm very cheerful and I'm fine. Don't lose your smile no matter what happens. It's a lesson from one of my older brothers, and it's also my belief. Or my older brother. But you cried after Kabashikawa died, right? Well, that's out of the question. Just think for a moment that it wasn't... Satsuki. Uranami? Huh? Maeda... Thanks to Maeda, I was able to tell you everything. It actually makes me feel relieved. Anyway, it was amazing to see that Maeda gets the truth about Kabashikawa. After all, Maeda is a teacher in my heart. A teacher? I don't see Sing Song Nim. I try to isolate it. As expected, Maeda Nin. Oh, I guess that's what it is. Okay. There's a teacher in my heart. Maeda. I think we can finish this trial soon. Please do what you always do last. What? And that's it. The climax mystery begin. That thing. Climax inference. Satsuki breaks the fourth wall! Okay. I mean, this trial isn't, like, long in the sense there's a lot of minigames. The list of minigames is really short, shorter than the previous two trials. But, like, there's so much just raw text and explanation. It still takes you a full length of trial time to actually get through it. It still takes as much time to get through it as the previous two trials. It's, like, less interactive. Let's see, this is... Whoops. Not what I... I don't remember what this one it was. How do I get out of here? Okay. Oh. Okay.
これが事件の全部だよ。
First of all, it starts with Otori, who was near the criminal nor the victim. Otori could not stand this extreme situation and began working undercover to kill Kobashikawa, the victim in this incident. Otori was the first and started to write a note to Kobashikawa asking him to come to the weapons depot. It was a task only Otori, who was the only one with paper and pen in the ballroom, where there was nothing but weapons, could do. Otori was finished writing the note, then inserted it between the cracks in the door in Kobashikawa's sleeping room. This is the same method he used it was used in the first murder case by the soccer player guy. After safely putting the note into his room, into Kobashikawa's room, Otori entered the armory before Kobashikawa arrived. This was to do some work. The task was to load a non-standard bullet into the pistol magazine. If the person fired the pistol in that state, the gun would explode from the inside and shatter the shooter's hand. Otori was planning to use some method to make Kobashikawa fire that gun. We don't know what that is. It'd be hard to do. That gun in particular. So he started a series of operations with the weapons depot. After completing everything he needed, Otori quickly returned to his room and waited for Kobashikawa to come out of his room. According to Otori's plan, he planned to enter the armory later than Kobashikawa. However, Otori, who returned to the room, and while he was watching the hallway, just fell asleep from accumulated fatigue. The details of Otori's influence in this incident end here. Meanwhile, at his room, Kobashikawa was probably in deep trouble. If what I heard is true, at this time Kobashikawa was already planning to save the criminal of this incident by sacrificing his own life. He was willing to sacrifice his life because he was responsible for running out of food from the beginning, and the treasure he found, finding the treasure became an opportunity. Kobashikawa, who felt that the situation had gotten worse and more extreme, and that he could not wait any longer, decided to take action and turn to the person who was the culprit of this incident. At this time, I'm not sure whether Kobashikawa saw Otori's note or not. It's highly likely that he was so lost in his thoughts he did not even look at Otori's note in the first place. Kobashikawa's plan was also to be carried out in the armory, but if someone had seen the note calling him to the armory, he would not have hastily headed there. Lucky or unlucky, if Otori hadn't fallen asleep, a quite complicated mess might have unfolded. Even more complicated than this one. After a while, I was just too lazy to write that mess. After a while, Kobashikawa safely met the criminal. Until this time, the criminal had not even dreamed about the incident. Kobashikawa told the criminal to quietly follow him to the armory. The two immediately entered the armory side by side. You may have thought that no one would know. They may have thought that no one would know, but in fact, Kurokawa was able to see all the actions of Otori and the two of them as they walked around the hallways. She wasn't sleeping from the beginning and was watching the hallway. In fact, it is thanks to Kurokawa that most of the credit for solving this mystery of this case has been achieved. Because Otori was asleep and did not come, the criminal and Kobashikawa entered the armory without being disturbed by anyone. After being alone with the criminal, Kobashikawa finally revealed his true feelings for the criminal. I thought that if things continued like this, someone would definitely commit murder. Or if he thought that if things continued like that, someone would definitely commit murder. So he asked her to kill him before that to save everyone. That's what he asked the criminal for. If she accepted, it was certain that the culprit would also be executed and killed because they had committed murder. So Kobashikawa did not force them, he just recommended it. But the criminal accepted Kobashikawa's offer without any hesitation. However, the criminal refused to kill Kobashikawa herself. On the contrary, asked Kobashikawa to kill them. Kobashikawa didn't want to kill the criminal, so they just kept arguing in vain, telling each other to kill each other. Because his plan wasn't really that they both die, right? So he wanted someone specifically. He wanted it to be, she kills me and no other way. Kobashikawa felt there would be no end to things continue like this, eventually made a proposal that was fair to both sides. The idea was to decide the outcome by shooting each other at the same time, just like in a Western play. In the worst case, they could both have died from each other's guns. But anyway, it didn't go against their goal of saving the other kids. So the criminal also agreed to the proposal and started preparing. The criminal and Kobashikawa were choosing guns to shoot at each other. At this time, we heard that Kobashikawa was doing something in the corner. He probably was touching the magazine at this time. Or loading. We all know the results of this, but I think touching is loading, right? This whole touching thing means load. Kobashikawa did the same thing Otori did earlier, loading bullets outside the standard size. I don't know how exactly Kobashikawa took the same action as Otori, but it's probably coincidence. Kobashikawa was interested in firearms from the beginning, so he may have come up with the same method by chance. Anyway, there was only one reason why Kobashikawa did what he did. He didn't want to shoot the criminal. Eventually, the two people who finished preparing took a few steps away and pointed their guns at each other. However, the criminal really intended to shoot Kobashikawa, and Kobashikawa was planning on losing to the criminal from the beginning. As Kobashikawa intended, his hand was smashed and his chest was pierced by the criminal at the same time. The unknown criminal ran to Kobashikawa. Only then did Kobashikawa tell her the truth. What Kobashikawa really wanted to save was not us, but the criminal herself. Even as she was dying, Kobashikawa was hoping that the criminal would survive, and said that since he was not dead yet, he would do the rest to save the criminal. The criminal was not convinced, but soon decided to grant Kobashikawa's last request. She left the rest to Kobashikawa and got out of the armory herself. Of course, traces of this time were also being monitored by Kurokawa. After confirming the criminal got out safely, Kobashikawa began the final cleanup, holding on to his remaining life as much as possible. First, Kobashikawa picked up the flash bombs and smoke bombs from the armory. And in the same way, put the wooden plank in the armory between the door handles and place flash grenades and smoke grenades on them. Flash grenade and smoke grenade on them. This work would only be done by someone inside, which made it quite difficult for us to reason. This board forced the door to open, and we forced the door open. We broke this board and simultaneously caused the bombs placed on top to explode naturally. This forces us if we're to open the door for the bombs to explode. Kawashikawa then started messing around in the weapons cabinet, even though it meant nothing, to make it look like the criminal had done something big. As a result of this repeating series of processes of blocking the door and disrupting the interior, the traces of Kawashikawa's blood were densely packed inside the armory, or weirdly made trails inside the armory, creating an unnatural blood stain like a blood trail. Kawashikawa completed everything before his life was taken. Must have faced the end with a satisfied feeling. Because he was able to save the person he cared about. And they just didn't take it. Of course, in the subsequent class trial, the criminal confessed to their crime. Kawashikawa at that time would not have known that fact. Something like this happened in the earlier morning, and later in the morning, Kawashikawa's body was discovered as Hotori and I broke the weapon door. The weapon room door. Actually, the person who can be called the culprit in this case is closer to Kawashikawa. It's close to Kawashikawa. The culprit literally ended his life. The person who actually completed the trick was the victim herself. The victim himself, Kawashikawa. But Kawashikawa wanted to save the criminal even at the cost of his own life. The culprit in this incident. The identity of the criminal whom Kawashikawa cherished so much and wanted to live is... Uranami Satsuki. It was you. Perfect. As expected, Maeda is a good detective. But he also has a talent for organizing cases. I'm not happy at all. Uranami Satsuki. Satsuki-chan. Why didn't I just go out and see you like... Why have to go out like this and see you in this morning, with this morning atmosphere? Uranami. It's always been like this. You are a strong woman, after all. Much more than me. Is that a compliment? Yes, it is, because she is the strongest. I don't know if I'm strong or not, but I feel heavy at a time like this. It's like adding weight to an already dark atmosphere. Then, the climax mystery that Maeda always did has come to an end. Or the climax, whatever it's called. Is it going to be time to vote soon? Uranami, that's really all you need? Not really. Are you not scared of dying? Well, I don't want to die, and of course I'm scared, but it's already spilled water. It's already spilt milk. What's the difference if I come and struggle now? We don't all die together, but I sacrifice myself so you can all live. So I'm satisfied with that. In English, Metal 105, Metal Get! You have to understand that in English, the verb doesn't come at the end, Linju. Hey, Miss Uranami, why do you keep trying to proceed with the trial? I'm the facilitator. Well, it doesn't matter, but I think you guys have roughly come to a conclusion. That's how it is, so please vote with a switch in front of your hands. Who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Yes. Voting ended unanimously. The test chosen by the culprit in this case, the black end chosen to be the culprit in this case is... Congratulations! The black end who killed Kobashikawa was Miss Iranami Satsuki! That is correct! Actually, what can I say about this incident? Murder case, not a murder case. If I had known it would be like this, I would have made stricter rules. It's already late. Like Ray's sprites there when it's the pro tag. So it's like she's the default. Everyone, I wonder if you have sunk a little too far. I, the person involved, am so fine. Can you please stay a little brighter? There's no way you can be bright. Satsuki-chan's going to die now. It's because I'm frustrated. Aaron and I worked hard and sacrificed yourself for us like this. We're so frustrated that we've come to this point can't do anything. It's not true that you can't do anything, Iranami. Might have said a while ago, hope is not something you find, it's something you create. Do you know why I decided to sacrifice my life to save you all? Because this was my way of creating hope in my own way. What are you talking about? Anyway, even if I were to survive alone, it would be pointless to live alone in a world without fun in Kobachin. And more than anything, I don't have the skills to defeat that guy on my own. Ooh. I'm smiling now, but inside I'm more angry than anyone else. That guy, basically, right? I hate the dark side. Don't you? Or the mastermind, that is. It's because of that guy, of Gomting, that we're in this situation. If it weren't for Gomting, Kobashikawa wouldn't have died. Maki wouldn't have died. Higa died, death. Tomori death. Hatano death. Yamaguchi wouldn't have died. Inori wouldn't have died. Yuhara wouldn't have died. I know that even if you say it. If it weren't for Monokuma, we would have entered Hillspeak Academy safely and had a happy school life. That's right. More than half of our friends are already dead. No matter what happens, I want to defeat Monokuma. I want to punish him. I want to crush him. Hey. Why are you talking to other people's faces? So, I'm betting on that hope that's hope that it's you. We? I don't ask for much. I will soon leave this world. You have one thing. No, please speed up 2 things. 1. Hana, which is 1. Make sure you survive. Well, this shit chapter 5, so someone's gonna die further. Duru, which is 2. Defeat Monokuma. Please punish the dark side. Take revenge. Satsuki-chan? Ah, you're so annoying. You dare incite students on seditious elements in front of the director of this academy. And even insult them in front of them. Noisy, noisy. Anyway, Miss Iranami was selected as the Black End, so she is in the position to be punished. Don't act like you're showing off. In that sense, we have prepared a special punishment for Miss Iranami Satsuki, the seaweed, the super high school level clown, for her unpleasant crime or what. I'm not scared of anything like you, because my friends will definitely punish you. Wait, is there anything? Is there really a need for Iranami to be executed? I would rather die. She is essential to us. I am a sinner. I am the one who tried to commit murder. I'm going to die. Monokuma, execute me. Uranami did nothing wrong. Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time! Monokuma, wait a moment. Time! Oh, what can I say? I'm so lucky. Please let me say one last word to my friends. Otori. I kept saying no one is bad. Monokuma is bad because he is the culprit of everything. If Otori continues to feel guilty, please work harder to catch the darkness or defeat the darkness. There's absolutely no need to be sorry, but if you have to atone, even if you die, that's fine. Uranami. Taira? Taira is strong. She has a heart so strong that she can overcome Otano's death. Please continue to support everyone like that. Okay. Thank you, Satsuki-chan. Mekaru is next. This is my first time seeing Mekaru so shocked. I don't know why you're so shocked. Now that Kinjo has become like that, everyone really needs a genius like Mekaru. I know it's too much to ask, but please work together with everyone to control the darkness. Kurukawa. You're loud. So I've been waiting. Don't do something disgusting that smells like grass. What? Punishment time begins. That's so bad. Even villains have to wait when they transform. What? Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time. Kurukawa and Maeda will know without saying anything, so I'll leave the rest to you. And one more thing. Haruhiko, I love you. This is icky, in my opinion. It's kind of gross. Something about that is grosser than other Danganronpa executions. Like somehow it's worse. Like the nastiest one is Kaede, right? But even that's somehow this is worse because Kaede's was absurd and I don't know. Anyway. This is what happens when you play with hopes that don't work out. Funny red-nosed lady. Satsuki-chan. No. Damn it, damn it. So sad. Charmang Chucky. It was just hopeless. Despairing. What hope do you have? You guys will never punish me, even if I die. Or wake up, whatever that means. Even if you kill me. Haha. That's not true. What, my Anakin? Who is in despair? I don't feel any. Do you not feel anything at all? My Anakin? Of course. I'm really sad that Iranami died. But we have fully inherited Iranami's will. I won't stop anymore. I am now full of fighting spirit more than ever since I came to Hope Speak Academy. Monokuma, I'm ready for Chapter 5. Did you suddenly take the medicine? Did you drink the Kool-Aid? There is nothing to be afraid of if you fight and burn it alone. I don't know. He is not alone. Mikaru? From this moment on, I will end my solo actions. I'll cooperate with you to defeat Monokuma. Oh my god, what happened to Mikaru? Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to play friends. I'm just paying off my debt. I am the type of person who definitely has to pay what I owe. Oh, Mikaru's acting like this all of a sudden. You see to treat her all as well as you have done up until now. She is tickling you and enjoying it. What did Miss Iranami say? Shut up. Iranami Satsuki is a person worth respecting. I saw her for the first time in my life. Able to give up one's life for... I saw it for the first time in my life. Able to give up one's life for others. True hope. Anyway, Mikaru's... My life was saved by her. I've become bored with this ridiculous murder game. I don't think don't you think it's time to break it down, Monokuma? It's not Mikaru. It's a shadowy... It's not you. It's, no. It's a shadowy figure controlling you from somewhere. No matter what. You can't do anything. It's already in my hands. No. You left us in the ballroom. Right before... Right before someone died. You might be feeling smug, but we know more than you can imagine. You're cornered. I'm not sure about that, but everyone is doing their best. I'll do my best to do my part for Kobashikawa. Yeah. I'll definitely catch you, Monokuma. I will avenge my friends who have died so far. What are y'all doing? Far from being in despair, these things are actually burning up with fighting spirit. Bluff is like you can't do anything anyway. You will soon find out that all there is left for you is despair. That is the end of the fourth class trial. We lost two more irreplaceable friends, Kobashikawa and Iranami. The will they conveyed will surely be engraved on us. I am no longer afraid. Every step from now on will be a leap towards hope. Kinjo. Hear us. Please answer if you're awake. Immediately after leaving the courtroom, Mikaru, who finally said she would cooperate with us, disappeared before we could call her. With no choice, everyone except Mikaru would check on Kinjo's condition. But Kinjo remained silent. We had no choice but to go out to our respective rooms, feeling a little confused. Oh. Who is it? Huh. It's 7 o'clock. Already. Hey, come out quickly, Maeda. What are you doing? Wait a minute. This is Mikaru, right? Yep. Why are you procrastinating? I think I can give the dark side a punch with that. Do you think you can give the dark side a punch with that? Mikaru. What an unpleasant expression. No, Mikaru, He came to my room and He's gonna make a stupid comment about how surprised he is that she came to his room. So, Mikaru came to my room, and, I thought there were 2 heavens. Okay, that's not what it says, but whatever. That's not what Linju probably meant. There's nothing we can do. As I said yesterday, I decided to cooperate with you to put it into the darkness. I know that, but why did you suddenly change your mind? Why did you suddenly change your mind? I said it was to repay a debt to Uranami. Hatano is, of course, a great person, but Uranami is more than that. Just because there is a person who can do that. When I told Ishima, Icy, Maeda, I'm talking nonsense. The nonsense you always talk about. I'm sorry. But in the name of this day, why are you dissatisfied? Did I call you incompetent? That's probably what it is, right? Or should I call you incompetent? No, of course it's better to call you by my first name. The nickname incompetent is also a bit shameful. Although it's true. I have no self-esteem. Hey, I haven't admitted it yet. I don't even want to be friends. But since we decided to cooperate, I want to show at least some courtesy. Mikaru tends to have a strange format like this. She usually looks down on us and ignores us, don't just blindly acknowledge us, but only acknowledge us when necessary. Anyway, let's leave all the useless talk aside. Come to my room right now. What? Mikaru's room? Why are you doing this today? Your character suddenly changed. I'm done. Just shut up and come. I'm getting tired already. Yeah, why does Maeda do that? Okay. What's with the teddy bear? Ray-chan, Maeda is here, finally. Taira, Otori, Kurukawa. I told you to stop sticking to me, so I told you several times that we weren't friends. Times we weren't friends. Well, what happened to you guys? Kobashikawa's goggles, I noticed that now. I think we came to Mikaru's room in the early morning and called everyone. Mikaru went to everyone's room in the early morning and called everyone one by one. Oh, Tori, those goggles. Eh? It's a Kobashikawa thing. It was left in his locker, so I brought them. This is my atonement for myself and my promise to continue the legacy of Kobashikawa. Should we move forward? Kobashikawa-kun. Satsuki-san's offer. Fair or whatever. And although we must never forget the events of our friends who have died, we cannot just remain sad. It's time for a counterattack from our side. Gradually. Little by little, but something is definitely starting to change. Hope is not something you find, it's something you create. These words are the only words ringing in my head. So, the reason you called us... It's an operation meeting. Since I have decided to cooperate, everyone here will work together to destroy Monokuma and escape. Rei-chan is finally an ally. There's no way I could feel more secure. It's all here. Wait a minute, then Kinjo. The way I see it, he's wrong. There is no reaction. I don't know what state he's going to be when he wakes up. Even if he does wake up, will he be able to recover? Of course, it would be comfortable if he were here. But throw away those unnecessary regrets. Would it be comfortable? I have no choice but to weed out the stragglers. I decided to cooperate because I sensed your fighting spirit. Mekaru. While you've been away from us until now, have you found something out? There are as many as a heap of mountains in Mekaru, but it's even more surprising that you didn't find anything. Huh? First of all, wait a moment, there could be surveillance cameras here too. Can we say that out loud? Are you an idiot? Of course I know. That's why I called you into my room. Right now, jamming waves from surveillance cameras I'm jamming waves from surveillance cameras that are flowing out of my room. In short, it's instant jamming. Jamming? Oh, Tori-kun, do you know what she's saying? Not all. In short, my room is safe. What I can say here won't be leaked to the dark side, and you won't be seen. Really? Awesome. How did you do it? The power room and audio-visual room. I made it by assembling a few useful parts that they had in the warehouse. It's a temporary solution, so it's not perfect, but it'll be somewhat safe. As expected, Mekaru didn't just spend time walking around alone. Of course, please be thankful that I am with you. So, the top priority is finding out the identity of the dark side. Of course, that is the most important. Before that, we need to look at the prerequisites. The prerequisites. Why are we caught up in this sect? Well, that's the biggest mystery. Why did Hope Speak Academy become like this? Why is no one coming to save us? But that's all because the child said it first. At that time, Kinjo and Mekaru were all there, but no conclusion was reached. No, I knew it back then, but now there is one thing I know. At first I thought it was a nonsense story, but after yesterday I became convinced. Mekaru is convinced. Yeah. In fact, considerable amount of time has already passed since we inserted Hope Speak Academy. And we don't remember it. Actually. Mikako-chan? Yakushi, which is like, also, I knew you'd react if I brought this up. Kurukawa Mikako. What are you doing? It's obviously deeply grateful to Iranami, and thanks to her, I said that I would cooperate with you and punish the dark side. Before that, I need to catch one rat. Kurukawa Mikako, you know something, don't you? Honestly, I am skeptical of you. Tell me everything you know. If you can't do that, you are the Dark One, or a close association with the Dark One. Mikako-chan, is the mastermind? This is ridiculous, if true. No. Trust me. If you're innocent, tell me what you know. I know that there are more than just one or two suspicious actions you have taken so far. Why are you keeping your mouth shut? Is there something you can't tell us? Hikaru, don't do that. Give Kurokawa some time to calm down. Oh, good morning. It's time to wake up. Let's give a lively day. Let's have a... Okay. Morning broadcast? I guess it's time now. It's 7 o'clock. Is it time now? Is it 7 o'clock? That's not the problem now. That's right. I don't know if everyone has had a good night. Please, everyone in the gym right now. I have important news to tell you. Quick now. What are you doing? I'll save the story for a little bit later. I can do it again. This time I won't just let it go. That's what I know. Mikako Kurokawa. Is this important news? It's only been a day since the class trial ended, but it's coming out of nowhere again. I guess I have no choice but to go first. Mikharu Kurokawa. The air that seemed to flow well suddenly becomes dangerous. Monokuma adds even more anxiety to the once again tense atmosphere. We all headed to the gym as Monokuma said, unable to hide our discomfort. Where there in a reality we could not even imagine was waiting for us. The first thing we noticed when we entered the gym was that Kinjo wasn't there. Seeing as Monokuma doesn't say anything, it looks like he's still in a coma. However, an even more shocking fact was unfolding in the gym to the point where that fact was easily forgotten. Eh? Who's that? Everyone is here. The class trial ended yesterday. I'm sorry for suddenly calling you again, but there is something I need to tell you no matter what. It's a little early for Monokuma, but I'll announce the motive. Motive and a surprise event. Introducing a transfer student. The student who transferred to Hope's View Academy this time is... Kisaragi Yamamoto, super high school level inventor. Please give him a round of applause. Kisaragi. It's not Hanzo. It's not Kisaragi Hanzo. It's Kisaragi Yamamoto. Is it like father and son or something? This is ridiculous. Right, is that what that translate that is that what that is? That doesn't make sense. Okay. Yamamoto-kun? A mysterious person who suddenly appears as a transfer student. With his appearance, the situation begins to unfold rapidly like a roller coaster. We'll end that one here.